So we're streaming right now. Anton, we're streaming. We're streaming on YouTube with audio.
Oh.
That is why. So from here. No, where is okay, okay. There we go. ¿Le puedes poner pausa, por favor? O ponte los audífonos.
No puedo, por favor.
¿Quieres verlo en tu celular, por favor? So right now we're learning.
No, we're not
Latin.
learning. I am not learning.
I am learning Latin.
No, you're not.
The online course.
Let's find your. Oh, baby.
This is brought to you by wikibooks.org. Thanks to wikibooks.org for providing us with the PDF. Now, right now we already have everything. Okay, so we change this. I'm still getting this. How can I do it like a full on? How can I put a full screen? Okay, so we're learning Latin right now, and yeah, this is the online course of learning Latin. This is what we're gonna go through, the contents. Which for right now, we're just going to go all the way to Introduction to the Latin Language, page 11. That is where we're going to start. So the content is going to be this right here. This is what we're going to look at today. The content, the progressive Latin grammar and exercises. This is the whole course. This is like the what do they call it when you go to school and they give you these whatever they call it, I don't remember right now. But yeah, it consists of how to study a language on the internet and in your head. That is where we're going to start. We're going to finish with the summary, which starts on page 221 and ends in page 230. So right now, we're going to read how to study a language on the internet and in your head. Special consideration, grammatical introduction, what is Latin, and an introduction to the Latin language. That is what we're going to do today. We have, so to start things off, you got to know how to study the language first. And since we have the pandemic going on right now, we have how to study a language on the internet and in your head. As you can see, it's already been highlighted and everything to make it easy for you guys. It says, how do you think about languages as you study them? Huh? What do you think about them? When you see a language like Latin, Greek, any language, what it is, it's just so amazing that Latin is a dead language for now, and shouldn't be. I mean, do you think that all Romance's language come from this language, like it says right here? It says, typically you will consider every punctuation mark and letter, and all the verbs and nouns, adverbs and adjectives, and study them in order to make connections. Ideally, you will have a teacher to point you in the right direction and help you make those connections. But when you have no teacher, these connections are left for you to discover. They may be clear or hidden, but either way, you will have to make them yourself. As you explore this wiki book, it will require the skill of critical thinking. Now, we don't have a teacher because we're learning together. That's the point of this live stream, that we learn together. Because I'm learning Latin too. I just went over it just to have some knowledge of it. Not all of it, but it's helpful to go over it before you actually teach it, which is what I want to do. I want to teach, and I can teach if I don't learn. So we must learn together. That's why I'm doing this, and that's why you guys are here. That's why I thank you, because you guys are here learning a dead language, which will bring it alive. We'll resurrect the language. How about that? Resurrecting the language. I am resurrecting the Latin language, a dead language. There's like less than 100 people, or less than 1,000, less than 200, I think. Between 100 and 200 people speaking this language right now. So, yeah, pretty incredible what we can do with these things nowadays with the technology and everything like that. It's just so amazing. So we can keep going. So you can never go wrong studying a language if you remember that exposing yourself to a language, even if you stumble in practice, it's itself learning it. Looking things up too much can sometimes impede progress. Stretch your memory, read slowly, and reread. As you will soon discover, you are about to study a language that is rich and full of meaning, and ancestors of many modern languages spoken around the world, including Romance's language, like Spanish, French, Italian, Romanian, and even English. That's what we're talking about. It's Roman language. So if you want to talk to your girlfriend or your boyfriend, like, hey, te quiero mucho, you want to say something like loveful, lovely, learn Latin. But like, how do you say love in Latin? Amo, I te amo, o amo, eu amo. So do not assume that Latin is like any other language. Do not assume ancient Rome culture is like other cultures. However, the Romans grapple with issues that are universally dealt with, like Julius Caesar. That's how people say it's said. It's supposed to be said Julius Caesar. Pretty incredible, isn't it? Julius Caesar. Says, we the authors endorse memorization and after that, immersion. You must develop Latin muscles. How about that? And a willingness to write or type things out. Or drill using software or with a friend. We are friends. All of us are friends right here. Note the patterns after you have memorized the form, not before. So first step to learning Latin, we're already learning. Memorize the forms. What are forms? We'll get into that. And then after you have memorized the forms, you're gonna note the patterns. It gets easy as we go through it. It's like you'll see it. You'll see it. Allow yourself to be mesmerized by them. Similarly, seek out explanation only after you have memorized forms. Memorize forms, then make sentences. Then use your knowledge to speak the language. Memorize forms, then speak sentences. Then use your knowledge to speak the language. Pretty cool, ain't it? So we have this right here. See, this is how to learn the language. These are all the web page. If you want the PDF, you can send me a message and I can send you the PDF, or you can just go to wikibooks.org and you can learn basically anything you want. I'm just learning with you guys. I want to do it. I know we can learn together. That's why I'm doing it. But yeah, that's the point of this, so we can learn together. So do not assume that I'm stealing the stuff from Wiki. No, I'm telling you that if you want to go there, you can go. There's no problem with that. I'll even link it in the description down below if you guys want to see it later on. I look like a streamer, right? Like a. So what is Latin? Latin was the language originally spoken in the region around the city of Rome called Latium. So Latium was where Latin originated from. We can see the root lat. Lat is the root, a root word, and ium or in is the stem, the suffix. We'll learn a little more about that once we get to it. It's a Latin principle, I will call it. It gained great importance as the formal language of the Roman Empire, like we mentioned before, Julius Caesar. All Romance language descend from a Latin parent, and many words in English and other languages today are based on Latin roots. Moreover, Latin was a lingua franca. So what's a lingua franca? A lingua franca is a official language of the world. So Latin was a lingua franca. So we went from millions and millions and millions of people speaking the language to less than 200. How about that, huh? We can bring it back. What if we make it again the lingua franca? The learned language for scientific and political affairs in Europe for more than 1,500 years. 1,500 years. That's starting what? 1,500? 1,500 years? That's like 1,500 years ago. Being eventually replaced by the French in the 18th century and English by the middle of the 20th century. So if you guys want to learn all three lingua francas, it's the Latin, the French, and then the English. So we're learning Latin first. We can move on to French if you guys want to. I'm up to learn any language. If you guys want to learn any language with me, or with the people here, not just with me, but with the people that is learning the language, you can see this is a group. This is why we're making this, because this is a group. This whole thing is that you guys get inspired with this and start learning on your own. That's what it is about. It's not about me teaching you all of this. It's about you going on yourself, investigating more about what I'm saying, right? So if I'm teaching you this and you don't like the way I teach it, you can just go to wikibooks.org and learn all by yourself. But the point of this is that we can learn as a community, as a society, as a sociedad, right? So, and if you know Latin, hit me up and you can teach this with me. So we can learn together even faster and we can learn it better. But the point is, we're learning from ground up, from zero. We don't know Latin at this point. We don't know anything. We're learning. So one of the affirmations that we have is, I am learning Latin. That's an affirmation. Now affirmations are said to be reminders of what you can do, of what you are capable of doing if you believe in yourself. So if you repeat yourself, I am learning Latin, multiple times during the day, your brain will start to connect the messages to your eyes. So when your eyes see Latin and you say the words, I am learning Latin, you will actually learn. There's a study on that. Bob Proctor, you can guys look up Bob Proctor and he will tell you more about this. So it says, Latin remains the formal language of the Roman Catholic Church to this day, and as such is the official language of the Vatican. So the Pope speaks Latin. It's pretty cool. You can go in with the Pope and be like, Eo roto puella arbor fina. What did I say? I don't know. I said three, she, broken. He, él, ella, árbol. I also know Spanish, so it might be easier if you know one of the Romance languages to learn Latin. It's all connected. Romance languages are not, as mentioned before, Romance languages are not derived from classical Latin, the language spoken by Kaiser and Cicero, but rather from Bulgar Latin, the language spoken by the common people, or Bulgars of Rome. So we're the Bulgar people, the common people. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Classical Latin and Vulgar Latin, Romance, differ in that Romance had distinctive stress areas, distinctive length of vowels. That's the classical, distinctive length of vowels. In Italian and Sardo-Lugudorese, there is distinctive length of consonants and stress. In Spanish, only distinctive stress, and in French, even stronger, is no longer distinctive. Another major distinction between classical and Romance is that modern languages, excluding Romanian, have lost their endings. Okay, but this is what we need to know is this. It is also important to know that Latin is, for the most part, an inflected language. What does that mean? Inflected language. It means that the endings change to show how the word is being used in the sentence. So the ending of the word declares its meaning. Basically, that's what he's saying. Like Dominus Magnus. The master is big. Dominus Magnus. Dominum Magnum. The master are big. I think I said that right or not. We're learning. So it says, oh, so we're getting to the stuff now. So it says, notice the essential difference between, what? Something happened here. I see what's happening. I think we're skipping pages. Yes, so the introduction. There's the introduction to the Latin language. Simple and compound words. So Latin is composed of simple and compound words. So the simple words, they consist of only one part, one syllable. So in Latin, io, I go, fero, I carry. Do, I give. Those are simple words. Now, compound words are words that consist of more than one part, more than one syllable, like aveo, I go away. Transfero, I carry across. Redo, I give back. Word parts. Inflected words, i.e., words having an ending or spelling changes according to their grammatical function in the sentence, have a stem and a root. So inflected words are compound words, which have a stem and a root. Now, what's a stem? The stem is the part of the word to which various suffixes are added. Now, what's a suffix? It's the ending of the word, the stem. The final suffix determines either the role of the word in the sentence. So, for example, when a Roman slave wishes to address his dominus, master, he used his vocative form domine, equivalent to O master. See how it changes from dominus to domine? The domin, that's the, was that the root or the stem? That's the domin, that's the stem. Domin is the stem. So it says, or the person involved in the action. For example, I dominate may be expressed as dominor, and they dominate as domin antur. So the yellow is the stem, domin. In these cases, domin is the stem, and us, e, or, and antur are suffixes. The addition of these suffixes is called inflection. What's an inflection? We'll look at it. We'll look at it later. There'll be another live stream or video if you guys want it instead of video. I think that'll be better. A video instead of a live stream, so we can edit and talk about it more. And I can edit and add sound and everything. Yeah, I think I'll do videos, so I can do the description of the words and add sound, give you more examples, an introduction. This is just the introduction. Maybe this is just the introduction to the course. That's why we're doing the live. Then we're gonna start doing videos. I'll start uploading videos to the point where we have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day whatever, how many days, as many days as it takes to learn Latin. And make sure you just let me know how you doing with Latin. I want to know. I am learning Latin, as you are. Say it with me. I am learning Latin. The root. Now, what is the root? The root is a part of the word that carries the essential meaning. For example, the stem of agito, I drive onward, is agit, whose root is ag, which ag means do or drive. So agito, I drive onward. Ag, do. Ito, I. Agito, I drive onward. The stem, agit. The stem of the word agito is agit. The root, ag. Now what does I mean? O. O is I. So eo, I go. Fero, I carry. Do, I give. You see? Aveo, I go away. Transfero, I carry across. Redo, I give back. They all end in O. Eo, fero, do. Aveo, transfero, redo. Agito. So now we can move on to hago, I drive, I do. So hago, I drive, I do. Once again, we can see ag is the stem. O means I. Hago, I do. Ag, do, drive. O, I. Hago, I do. I drive. It's like Spanish. Yo hago. Instead of saying yo, you're just going to say hago, because the O in Latin, it's I. Hago. So if you want to practice, let's finish this and then we'll go out to the comments. So if you want to practice Latin as the first person, you can start saying O instead of I. So you can go like, O like to eat. So you're going little by little. O like to eat. You remember O, I. O, I. It's just a vowel. It's just a vowel. So agmen, that which is driven, such as a flock. So we have again ag, and then we have men. What is men? That which is men. That which is ag, driven. That which is driven. Agmen. Agmen, that which is driven. I am learning Latin. So notice the essential difference between the root and the stem. The root ag has been added as suffix ito. So we can see the root ag and the suffix ito, which denotes frequency of action. So agit means to do or drive more than once. Hence, agito, I agitate, I keep something moving. I urge, I impel. Agito, I agitate, I keep. Now, in Latin, the G is not like agitate, it's like agi, agi, like g, like what's an English word for this? Gummies. Yes, gummies, gummies. So agito, agito, I keep, I agitate. Agit, oh, agit, oh, agit, move, do, drive. Oh, I, agito, I move, I drive, I keep, I agitate, I urge, I impel. Now, English uses word order more than inflection to determine the function of words within a sentence. English also uses words like pronouns, I, she, etc. And the preposition to, at. Those are prepositions. To, I'm going to, I'm at the house, I'm going to my home. And pronouns, I, she, persons like they, he, Ramon, Martin, Johan, Andres, Abraham, Jesus, Peter's book. The names, you get the point. Now we're going to define the three types of words aside from the compound and the simple. These are the three categories that fall inside the compound words and simple words. So primitives, what are primitive words? Primitives occur when both the stem and the root are the same. Now in this, I'm still a beginner, I'm still learning. I don't have a real good knowledge of how to explain it in simple words. But for example, in the word agere, to do, drive, both the stem and the root are the same. Agere, the root and the same is ag. Now ere, to, ag, drive, do, ere, to drive, to do, which in Latin to doesn't exist. We'll get to that later. Now derivatives. Derivatives occur when the root or stem is modified. For example, the stem flam from the noun flama has the root flag, blaze. Nosco, I know, from the verb nocere has the root no, no. So as you can see, this is like Spanish kind of thing, French, Italian, Portuguese. Flama, una flama, fire, flame. That's where we get the English word for flama, flame. Has the root flag. Now we don't see the J here, which changes. The stem flam, and the root flag. So we have the fla, which means place, flag, and nosco, like conozco, I know, from the verb noceré, conoceré. You just delete the con in Spanish. If you speak Spanish, you know what I'm saying. Has the root no, which means no, which sounds kind of identical. No, no. Yeah. Those are derivatives. When the root or stem is modified, derivatives. Now, suffixes. Latin attaches suffixes, which are basically the endings. Those are just the endings of the Latin. Now, to stems, to turn them into words. Most stems and roots cannot be used in sentences without an ending. This inflection is essential to forming Latin sentences. The various suffixes and their translations we will learn in later lessons. In later lessons. That's why we're doing videos. Latin attaches suffixes, which mean endings, to their words. Those are suffixes. It's the ending of the word. And that's our suffix of the live stream. That's it. This is an introduction to the Latin language, which seems pretty easy, right? It's not that hard. Seems pretty easy to learn, something easy to do. And were you guys able to, you couldn't see anything this whole time? It's black. This whole time it's been black. Okay, it's fine. We learned something at least. This was the end of the video. Let me guys know what you think, and I'll link the there is wikibooks.org. You can go there and you can learn Latin if you want to learn by your own. So thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Give it a like if you liked it. Send me a message if you want to learn something. And Vini Vidi Vici. Is that how you say it? No. Winnie, Wiki. Came, I saw, I conquered. Have a good day.